right, folks. I think I'm back. Don't know what else to say. Um, Let me just answer a couple of you and see if we can get everybody back. I know Mandy said that we were as well, that we were off. Don't know what to say. It's YouTube. So, anyways, people can watch this later on, and yeah, I didn't, hopefully I'll go back. Let me see if I can focus back on where we're at. But talking about the things Brian Bird said, and comparing again Nathan and Elizabeth to uh, Jack and Elizabeth. And listen, it's just two different relationships. It's two different relationships, and that should be honored. And just because they wrote Jack waiting 5 years, okay, doesn't mean Nathan has to do that. But that's where it is. Okay, and listen, it's not good television. They can say whatever they want. It's not good television. It's not smart. It's frustrating, and for the people who really watch, it's just not good. Okay, and so you know he can say whatever he wants. Let me go into my next point that he said. I didn't want to spend so much time on what he said, but they're valuable points. So number one, he compared Nathan and Elizabeth to Jack and Elizabeth. Baloney. Number two, couldn't believe he said this publicly. He said it was never from the get-go was never meant to be Lucas and Elizabeth. What? Okay, so the reason I say that is we know that Elizabeth all said it, okay? But you know who didn't say it? Hallmark, Brian Bird, the writers and producers. They didn't say it. So they said it was never supposed to be about Nathan and Elizabeth and Lucas. It was always supposed to be the teacher and the Mountie. Seriously, what you put your fans through, both sides, was horrible, horribly done. Okay, and now because the love triangle is, yeah, it's a pothole. Okay, but now that the love triangle is so far behind us, they flipped Elizabeth episode whatever in season 10, and you really saw it the last quarter of the season. Okay, now with 11, 12, 13, here we are. Now you say you can come out and say something like that. Well, but what about all those fans you enraged? What about them? Because for the Nathan people who were gun shy, guess what? They thought there was a real possibility that was going to go down. There was no indication it wasn't. The man proposed to her and she accepted. See? There's no, listen, you split to keep a show once again going. Are you hearing what I'm going to tell you? This is what I'm going to say. To keep a show going for simply that reason, you split a fan base, and you made people so angry with you that every time you open your mouth, they don't want to hear anything you got to say. Nothing. And when he goes on and he does these interviews with these podcasters, and they're, yeah, it's Brian Bird. Yeah, he's such a sweet old guy. Yeah. Listen, he probably is, but all that was hogwash. Telling you, wasn't good. And when I heard him say that, I thought, really? So now you have the gumption to come out and say that publicly? I mean, you know, that's just ridiculous. It's just bad. It's just not good at all. So, I don't know. You know, I don't. I'm trying to live my life. Not being like totally negative, and I don't want to. But there's just some things that make no sense. They saw. See, you got to pull your head out of the sand. You got to quit being an ostrich. Okay. They saw the immediate season one explosion of the Hardys. Explosion, just blew up. And here comes this group called the Hardys. And dude, they're like a train, and rolling, and there's no stopping them. And they're passionate. They found a show that they can be passionate about. Okay. And I fully understand. 5 years later, the dude wants off the show, and you got to kill him off. Here's what I don't understand. Why do you have to have some jacked up, demented relationship to keep a show going? Why? What kind of sensible writing is that? It's just dumb. It's just dumb. And you know what? Again, I would have no problem sitting right in front of Brian or Michael and say, I just don't think, but either you are real bright. Neither one of you. You're just not real smart. Now I know you didn't ask my opinion, and I thought that, but it's just not. See, but Jack had his time, and we have to quit living in the past. But see, here's the interesting thing. We have to quit living in the past on this show, and yet we have to get the past right. Okay, let me say that again. We've got to quit living in the past, Jack's past, but yet we need to get the past right. They got all brand new writers on this show. I'm not convinced any of them have watched a previous episode. Even last year, not convinced any of them have watched anything. Because this season, they are not writing the characters true to form. These characters are off. Elizabeth, she's off. Okay? I don't know if it's pregnancy with Aaron. I don't know what's going on. If she's just acting out what's on the script, I don't know, folks. People get mad at me all they want, say, "Oh, you're negative." Listen, I'm telling you, it's off. Most of you would say that. The ratings are dropping, and so if you're going to, so let's make a decision here. Let's either we're going to live in history, and history is where we're going to glean from, or we're going to put away the history and let the history stop ruling this show and give this show a future. What's the future of this show? Nathan and Elizabeth. It's not Jack and Nathan and Elizabeth. That's not the future. Okay? The future is Nathan and Elizabeth and their family. It's obvious that Allie's not graduating this year, so they're going to take 2 years or 3 years into one. Okay, and she's if they get engaged, I'm going to get to that here in a second. Okay, but if you're going to live in the past, be consistent about it. Okay, let me give you a little thing. Okay, I love baseball. I played baseball until I was 21. Huge baseball fan. Baseball idolizes the past and the past players, Ruth, Cobb, all these guys, right? That's where they get their identity from in a lot of ways. Well, the game now is different than they changed rules. And the game now is they may still hit a little round ball like a baseball. Yeah, there's still a pitcher and a catcher and out, but it's a different game. They're different players. Okay? These guys are athletes. They didn't go sit all night smoking cigarettes at the bar like baseball players did back then. They didn't walk up to the plate drunk like Mickey Mantle did. Doesn't even remember playing in the World Series. Hammered. These players now aren't those guys. These guys are athletes. Different players, different time. Nathan Elizabeth, different players, different time. Different relationship. Quit living in the past. Quit thinking you got to throw your fishing line into the depths of the sea, and what do you got to pull up? Ghost Jack on the hook. Quit living for Ghost Jack. It's the dumbest thing I've seen in all my life. A show that a man that, listen, yeah, great man, Elizabeth's first love. That's never going to be forgotten. But that doesn't mean that you have to sit around and every decision that goes on Ghost Jack has to approve that decision. I mean, it's ludicrous, folks. And they can't seem to get beyond it. And season 13 is going to be the same way. Here's another thing they can't seem to get beyond this. And I want you to tell me what this is all about. Community. Hope Valley's always been a community. Okay? Hope Valley. Okay, let me go back. Coal Valley first became Hope Valley. It was always about community. Look at the arc with Henry Gowan. Look at the Bill Avery, and look at Elizabeth's arc, and look at Rosemary and Lee, and the Canfields, and all these. There's always been a community there. Why all of a sudden do they need to? Oh, now it's even about more community. What are they referring to? What community are they referring to? Okay, they already had a fire that's supposed to have been something about Los Angeles. Okay, is that what this community is supposed to be about? LA and them coming together to give me a break on that. Maybe burning to the ground, huh? I mean, what are we doing here? Community, helping each other. Yes, but Hope Valley's always done that. Hope Valley's always helped its people. They've always helped each other. See, I don't know. Listen, these writers and whoever's this showrunner, she ain't gonna make it. She will be the death of this show if they don't get rid of her. Joey Greg, I'll tell her. I'll go on any podcast and tell them, you better get rid of this chick and her writers. Out. Because they don't know what they're doing. They're not finishing stories. Their characters are off base. It isn't a good look, folks. And if you think I'm the only one saying this stuff, probably I'm the only one saying it like I do. But there's other podcasts, and they feel the disconnect, and they feel like something is definitely off. Thank you. Too much happening off screen. So I want to get to episode 4 and 5, and I'm not you guys know me. I'm not um, I'm not a person who breaks down episodes. I don't want that as a podcast. I want to be able to look at the whole picture and give my views on it straight. Okay. But I went back and I just did this for Nathan and Elizabeth because this is a Nathan and Elizabeth heavy podcast. Okay. That's what it is. It's a Nathan and Elizabeth heavy podcast. Episode 4, they were together 4 times. You got Nathan and Elizabeth in the front porch. She tells him he's impeccable. Nice call back. Has her hand on his knee. Okay. No kiss. They haven't kissed since season 1. Listen, when that first episode came back and they came back from Cape Fullerton, I thought, man, we got something going on here. This is going to be really good. And Elizabeth is struggling. She doesn't want to go back. Nathan makes a phone call and saves her and does something for her that we all know Nathan would do. And there's a couple of in the stable, and then there's some beautiful scenes between them. And I thought, wow, they came back and they gelled together as a unit up in Cape Fullerton, even though they should have been married. But they're together, and you felt like they were together. Then you go to episode 2 and the wildfire, and everything just fell apart. The hero's Nathan. No kiss, no thank you. He had thank you from other people, but not from Elizabeth. She hands him a sandwich in jail. Here, this is how intimate I want to be with you, sir. We're getting ready. I want you to here. This is my take. Nathan, I really want you to ask me to marry you. Here's a sandwich. Nathan, I want to spend the rest of my life with you because I'm madly in love with you. Oh, here's a burnt grilled cheese. You got to be out of your mind, whoever writes this. Where's the sit down? And I know the man's tired and he's dirty and he's frustrated and he's got paperwork. But where's the 30 seconds or a minute of sit down to say, Nathan, I just want to tell you, from Elizabeth, Nathan, I just want to tell you, you're my hero. You're impeccable. You're giving, and kisses him and appreciates him, and maybe he falls asleep in her arms or something. Why can't that be written? Here's a sandwich, burnt one. It's just I don't know. It's a trigger for me too. What's a sandwich represent? I mean, is this where we're going to go down? A burnt sandwich. I mean, see, when you got stuff like this, it's bad writing, folks. And here's the other thing that it's not chaste enough for BB. Yeah. Well, thank you, Hannah. Well, the question is, how much more chaste? I mean, they're not even kissing. They're not even. They're chaste means, in other words, what does chaste mean? Dead, dull, no life. That's Brian Bird's definition of chaste. I'm going to talk about some of them. So let me just go on here. Quit distracting me, you guys. Okay? Let me talk for a second. I'm just kidding. So we have Nathan front porch impeccable, no kiss, right? Okay. So I know what you're thinking. You're going to say, oh, Terry, you're going to major on the kissing. If you're attracted to somebody, guess what you're going to do? And you know what? Listen, if you've got a problem with that, I'm sorry. This is the wrong podcast. If you've got a problem with 2 people kissing, I'm sure that all of you watched all these other movies that Kevin's been in, and him kissing women, and he's such a great kisser, and Erin's done a bunch of Hallmark movies, and she kisses all these guys. Nobody ever complains till it comes to Hallmark, till it comes to when calls. Oh, that's just too much. Quit being hypocritical, okay? You know what? If they're and you did the same when you were young, and now all of a sudden you got old and crotchety, and you think, oh, those two, look at them, they're so gross, they're kissing. You know, just grow up, okay? That's just ridiculous. If people care about each other, that's what they do. Okay? If that's a life you want to live, you don't want anybody kissing you, fine. No problem. Live that life. But we want to see these two, their passion. We're not seeing it. Okay? Kitchen. Oh, paprika. The look she gives him. Aaron can one of the very few people that can look up that she's got beautiful eyes. No kiss. Nothing. Zero. The walk in town. Handhold. No kiss. Nothing. Walk in town again. Proud to be on your team. Team what? No kiss. Let me go to some of your comments, because maybe you're going to get tired of me. Yeah, instead of kisses, we'll get handshakes, pats on the back, burnt sandwiches. Because, I mean, Hallmark is not that way on every other thing. I mean, if you watch a Hallmark movie, and the people have known each other 5 minutes and they're kissing. If you watch a Hallmark movie, which is, however long, 2 hours, and by the end of that thing, they barely know each other, don't even know if they have parents, kids, they're kissing. Nobody complains about that. Don't know. Amanda says Kevin knows his way around a kiss. Let that guy show his skills. Heartland was a clean show, and Kevin did some kissing. Why can't this happen for Nathan and Elizabeth? Well, so I have an opinion. Many of them, but I have an opinion. Let's see. Maybe she knows she's pregnant, Aaron, and maybe she doesn't want to get sick. And maybe she doesn't want to get the baby sick. That's my opinion on it. I'm surprised that more pregnant women. Now I know what everybody's saying about the show, and that we didn't know they didn't know she was pregnant until later on. I'm not convinced of that, because Ben said they got married in May and they got pregnant in June. So Ben said, you can take his word for it. Married in May, pregnant in June. They started filming in July. By the time some of this rolls around, she's 3 months. She's 3 months along. She's first trimester, the end of it. Maybe she's having morning sickness. There's something happening that's external. If that's really okay, if that's the case, and if it's external and she's pregnant and maybe she's got morning sickness, maybe just tell your fans. See, but there's no upfront here. There's never been any. They never say anything truthful to us. They don't. Sorry. You might put them in a place, I'll tell you what, that I don't. Okay? But there's something extra. I think Bob and Beth said it. There's too much happening off screen. There has to be. See, because it can't be, well, I'm with Ben and Kevin is with Kayla, and we can't, because we're best friends and we can't kiss. Then why do you go do movies and do it? See, all of a sudden there's a disconnect, folks. Okay, let me finish my point here. Okay, just too easily all over the place. It's not good, but that's just the way my mind works. Okay, how about let's go to episode 5 now. We just watched it, didn't we? Nathan and Elizabeth, kitchen, dinner. Oliver and Allie. Hey, you want to stay for dinner? No, I've already made dinner. Okay. disconnect. They're not even having dinner in the same house now. Nathan's trying to prove a point to his to his almost 18-year-old daughter. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about with writing. So we had a dance scene where Nathan and Elizabeth take up her alley. She has a dance party for her 17th birthday. She has it in the saloon, Lee's Saloon. And what does Nathan end up telling her? I trust her. In the town meeting, I trust my daughter. Okay? Do you? Okay, that was last year. Now all of a sudden you don't trust your daughter. She's out with your constable, who you like a lot, who's a very trustworthy young man, and they're sitting in a chair together in a swing, and they're maybe it looks like they're holding hands, but they're showing this fossil, and now all of a sudden you can't trust her. So what's the bigger deal here? Is where's your trust issues, Nathan? What's going on? They're not writing him true to his character. Okay? And I mean, they're 18-year-old kids in a little small town like Hope Valley. This is not a metropolis. This is Hope Valley, where everybody knows everybody and everybody sees everything. And them sitting in a swing, looking at a fossilized tooth. It's not like they're hiding. It's not like they're at the coal mine back in one of the shafts making out, hiding from everybody. Right? It's not like they're out in the forest somewhere. They're sitting in it, and he freaks out over it. Filler. It's filler. And they're not even eating dinner together in the same house. She's making one thing, he's making another. Little Jack LJ comes down the stairs, talks to his mama. Nathan doesn't even say hi to him. Looks really discombobulated. Okay? Here's the one that I thought was bizarre. Can I use the word bizarre? Is that okay? People search for bizarre. Nathan is outside her window walking back and forth. And she opens up the window and he says, "Oh, I didn't want to bother you." And she says, "It's no bother." Okay? So can we go back some episodes? Can we go back some seasons? How about when the "I love you" log and he tells her he loves her and she runs off, and then he skips the school meeting and she leaves him a note and he comes knocking on her door late at night. Whatever, we don't know the time at night, but it's at night. The baby's in bed. It didn't bother him to go to her. It didn't bother him to go to her door when the chocolate egg didn't bother him then either. Didn't bother him when he goes to the door to bring her flowers. When she's when she got all the letters from the parents. Something's not right, folks. And it's one thing as a showrunner, okay? Whatever their job is as a showrunner. Okay, you got people writing stuff. Guess what you have to do? Approve it. Whoever's approving this stuff it's junk. Why is Nathan bothered that he's out? If they're together. They're together. Are they together? Why? And she's up, the lights are on. I don't want to bother you with this. You're not together. That's horrible writing, folks. That writing does not make them look like a couple who's getting ready to get engaged and want to get married. This writing does not make them look like that. Sorry. And we all want that for them. And we're just getting just crappy writing out of it. It's just not good writing. There's a handhold in the middle of town. Yeah. Well, then they're having separate dinners. She says, "I love you." "Oh, I love you." They both tell each other, "I love you." He walks out. He goes to his house to eat spaghetti. She eats with LJ. Separate houses. Yeah, I know, Hannah. I mean, they're just not getting. Yeah, they're just not getting any screen time. But even when they have screen time, it's poor screen time. It's terrible screen time. This is your lead couple. This is okay. This is the couple that's supposed to be getting engaged. Not a chance. If they're going to get engaged, it's going to be some haphazard sham deal. Unless this thing flips. We've seen it flip, okay? We've seen it get halfway through the season. Next week, the big lie detector's coming. Now, Nathan, do you want to marry my mom? Nathan's going, you know, they're writing him again like that. Like he can't talk. Can't look him in the eyeballs and say, "Yes, son, I'm going to marry your mom." What's the problem with that? What is the issue with that? Bad writing. Poor filling writing. It's filler. It's filler. The handhold in town. Between the two of us, they're sitting there on the couch when he's talking about Allie and how he messed up. If I can touch on that just before I go. But between the two of us, we're doing all right. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. Nathan's out throwing baseballs with Jack. That's not raising him as a son. He's throwing a baseball with him. Is that now what raising a son is? Hey, son. Hey, I want to teach you how to be a man. Let's go outside and throw a baseball. Yeah. Well, what about decisions and character and the rest of it? Don't worry about it. We'll just throw a baseball. Wow, you're a great dad. You know how to throw a baseball. I don't know, man. You know, I'm just doing the best I can to stay positive, but it's not there, folks. It's not there for me. It's not there, you know, and you know, I just don't know what to do with it. I've heard some people say this about the way that Nathan went off on Oliver. Out of character for Nathan. I don't think so. I think when Nathan gets fearful or he's afraid of losing somebody he loves, he gets angry. Okay, I can't blame, you know, men. Ain't no man I'm going to talk to get angry about that. You know, say we're different. We're not like that. Okay. I'm glad I'm not watching the season going off. But being said, I'm just not interested. I know Rebecca, I understand. Mandy, Nathan had a ring in his sock drawer for years. No one will ever convince me otherwise. Maybe. Don't know. I mean, you know, I just take one for the team, Aaron. Yeah. Listen, I just don't know. But you know, Nathan and Kevin have done some great acting. Smith has been that episode where they kept zooming in on his face, this last one, and they thought he had a heart attack. I disagree with people who said that Rosemary's the way Rosemary acted was wrong. No, I think she did great, and I think the way Kevin has acted, and man, I think he's been tremendous. Give that man the gold star. Kevin has been too, but I think Kevin's playing along with everything else going on, right? And the two boys, they've done a great job this season. Henry, listen, even the few scenes that Henry gets, Henry just blows them out of the water. Just such a good actor. Just blows them out of the water. Not trying to be mean or a jerk. To me, the person that's been off is Erin. Sorry. She's just been off. And, God bless them. Wish her all the best. Hope they do well with the baby. But it's not there. And I'm not trying to, drag her through the mud and make this about her and the show and all this, because I think that's a lot of pressure. Bob and Beth, I think I said this the other day, and thank you for that. So, and I'm going to give you credit, but I'm going to go along with you. I said the other day on another podcast that the blended family scenes they're giving to the Coulters and not Nathan and Elizabeth. Can you listen? So they say you can't write for a main couple. Can you imagine if they wrote all this for Nathan and Elizabeth the way they write it for the Coulters? How good a television that would be? Be spectacular. And people would love it and watch it. That's what we want to see. They don't want to do it. Why? Well, you know what's going on. It's BB's influence, Michael Landon Jr.'s influence. It's pathetic, folks. I just have a feeling that as long as we watch this show and we have expectations, those expectations are not going to be met. I mean, even with Erin's beautiful monologue, Elizabeth's beautiful monologue, and it was very beautiful to Nathan. That's about as close as we've gotten to what we want. But yet now they're still not engaged. End of season, 11, now 12, 13, and they're still not engaged yet. Don't know what else to say. I honestly, I would love to be able to come on here and give you all positive. And I do have positive. Listen, I think Allie and Oliver and those actors, Jaden and the other guy, I think they're tremendous actors. I think the Canfields and I think they're tremendous actors. Mike and May and Lucas and Edie, you could kick them off this show and I'd never miss them. I could care less about them. Okay? That they do absolutely nothing for this show. Zero for this show. Get mad at me all you want. That's the truth. They do nothing for me, and they do nothing, and they add nothing to this show. Lucas Bouchard running for governor. What has he done? What has he done to run for governor, for re-election? It's an absolute joke. Nathan Grant not getting any medals. I haven't seen one episode where it says Nathan's getting medals. Out of all the things he's done, no medals. You're talking me off. Sickening. It's just repulsive, folks. It's bad writing. It's just a bad written show. And you know what? We've all fallen in love with something that's it's dysfunctional. What can I say? It's dysfunctional. We've fallen in love with a dysfunctional show. It's not written well. It's acted pretty well, but we can't seem to get what we want. They don't care. They're gonna throw a bunch of ingredients in a pan and mix it together with a blindfold on, and then that's supposed to come out as an engagement. That's what's going to happen. You realize that. They're going to put a blindfold on the chef, and they're going to throw a bunch of stuff in his hands, and he's going to throw it into a pot, and what's supposed to come out of that is a beautiful engagement. Nope. I don't buy it, and I'm not seeing it. I think what's going to happen is Nathan and Elizabeth are going to say, hey, you know what? We need to be under the same roof for our kids. It's like, who cares about us and how we feel? Will you marry me? Wow, that's passionate, isn't it? Man, don't you just want to live the rest of your life with that person? I'm just, yeah, and Bob, and you might be right on that. Not convinced there will be an engagement. If there's not, then what are the fans? What is it they gave us that the fans supposedly we wanted? So what Aaron said. We heard the fans and we're giving them what they want. What is that? Is it going to be? Let's go a step farther. Is it going to be an unpassionate marriage? Are they going to stand before Judge Bill Avery and get married? There's no passion there. They're not allowed to show it. And listen, the thing with Aaron is, if this is what's prevented a lot of this kissing and stuff, you don't get less pregnant unless you have a baby. As the season goes on, she wasn't getting less pregnant. She's getting more pregnant. Pregnant, I don't know about more pregnant, but she's pregnant. You don't get less pregnant if that's what's really going on. And it's just I don't know. You know, I want to be positive. I really do. I don't want to be Mr. Negative Nilly, but I don't know. I just can't see it. I was really hopeful after Elizabeth made that flip in season 10. I thought that last part of season 10 was some tremendous acting, beautifully done. I thought season 11 was sweet, only it took them forever. Season 12, there were some great scenes, fever dreams and those dancing scenes. This season, it ain't there. I don't even, there. It's just not there. So I don't know. Again, listen, I'm sorry about the YouTube collapsing. I have no idea what that's about. My podcast ending, but I'm glad all of you joined me. Listen, I hope you appreciate, my opinion, and I hope you can deal with it. And I hope I'm not pouring salt on your wounds. I want what you want. I'm invested in Nathan and Elizabeth. I want them married. I want a beautiful family. I want to see it on television. I just have my doubts, and I don't think that they want to give it to us. And there's some reason for that. And now we're as of Saturday night at 10 o'clock when this show airs. Okay, remember that Saturday night at 10 Eastern. We're halfway done. Where's the flip going to happen? Is it going to happen? Don't know. All right. So listen, wherever you are in America, I know winter's going on. Please take care of yourself. Stay warm. It's cold in Florida tonight again, in the low 30s. It's cold for us. It was in the 20s. Be safe. Again, I really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Tell others. Tell them to subscribe. It's the only way I can get this thing to grow. We may not get a pile of people on because I'm too blunt. They may not want to hear me. I don't know what people want. I mean, there's plenty of other podcasters, and you can certainly go and they'll give you a positive spin on everything. Okay? They give you a positive spin on a car crash. I'm not going to do that because I don't think it's positive. I'm not going to give you a positive spin on everything because I think there needs to be some honesty, some integrity, some straight talk, and some points taken. And I think most of you that are with me, I think they appreciate that. I think you're right there with me. Okay? And, I care about this podcast. I care about each and every one of you. I want you to listen. And I want to, tell people, let them come on here. And maybe I'll get some men on here with me. If you're a guy and you want to jump on here with me, send me a message. Say, hey, man, I want to come. Because I know people are going to get tired of just my voice. Come on. And we'll debate and we'll talk and as guys. And we'll see what we can come up with. And if it'll make sense. So again, my name is Terry. This is the Hope Valley Guy podcast. I will see you next Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Do not forget Saturday night's episode, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We'll see what the lie detector says. And when it comes to Hope Valley, appreciate you guys. Stay safe. God bless. See you soon.